Hey guys, what is up? Glenn here, and today I'm going to be kind of attempting to show you a basic strategy and unit composition that you can use with the Roman army for Roman Total War. So here's my army here. I have three kind of units of urban cohorts, and these guys, as you can see here by these little flags, if I zoom out a little bit, these are like the upgrades. So I've got six upgrades, 3 in attack and 3 in defense, so they are gold. The same for my other unit, and I've got my general unit, who's going to be in the front lines in a second, back here with the same upgrades. I believe that's my general there. And to the sides I have 2 Praetorian cavalry with gold, as you can see the mini flags there. And with my archers, I've just gone for 3 archers have gold attack, as you can see the 3 flags there. But I haven't gone for any defense because archers generally are fairly weak anyway, so adding extra defense is not going to help a lot. I'd rather save the money and buy this extra archer squad I have here. So that's my kind of army composition. In terms of what the actual units are going to be doing, the urban cohorts, they have extremely high defense, fairly high attack. I actually think they have higher attack than the early 1st Legionnaire cohorts. So these guys are going to be quite deadly in close combat with most other units, especially now that they have the upgrades on. The downside to them is that there's only about 43 per unit. These are medium-sized units, as you can see there's not many archers, so they've got a fair amount to them. And basically what I'm going to be doing is using these guys to kind of protect my archers at all times from the front, and also basically as a meat grinder for whoever feels foolish enough to attack me from the front. The urban cohorts do also have, I believe it's called pili, which are basically spears that they can throw. So if you shove these guys in front and tell them to just fire at anything, anyone charging them is going to get a bunch of spears to the face. So they are an incredibly useful infantry unit, and I kind of recommend them as the bulk of any infantry defense. Obviously they don't have spears, so they're not as good against cavalry, but they will be very effective and very versatile versus enemy infantry. To my left and right I have my Praetorian cavalry, and these guys basically have 2 roles. One is to defend my flanks, because obviously I can only spread my urbans out so far, and they are also going to be harassing the enemy flanks and providing a threat. Even if they aren't attacking anything, I need my enemy to be constantly watching them, so he's taking his eyes off the battle and he might have to direct troops onwards to the Praetorian cavalry. The archers in the middle are basically going to act as a protection against any enemy missiles like javelins or arrows or missile cavalry, and obviously they have flame if I want to scare away elephants or maybe like break cavalry. They are obviously very weak, so I'm going to have to kind of keep an eye on them at all times, otherwise somebody's just going to come around my flanks and kill all my missiles. They are probably the cheapest part of my army, but they are also perhaps in some circumstances, especially if you're like on top of a slope, the most useful. So this is a perhaps more fair battle that I'm going to be doing live. I'm going to be doing it against a very hard AI, but I'm also going to, it's also quite a more balanced army than the Macedonian one I fought before. I've included no siege units, and yeah, a mix of kind of cavalry, missiles, and infantry. So we're going to see how it goes. I think I'll probably line up my archers. I'm also doing it on a flat grassland, so I don't have any kind of hill advantage. I'll show you kind of how I would normally go about fighting this battle. So, okay. Let's start this off and see what they have. I might just switch my urban cohorts into fire at will mode. Also group them. I find that sometimes helps, especially if you want to get everybody into formation as quickly as possible. Let's just add that guy who we missed. I'm going to add perhaps my left flank onto 3, right flank even. If I can actually... Oh, apparently I need more than one guy. Screw it, all cav can just go into 4. 3 even, that's better. Okay, I think we'll just use them independent of one another. So here it looks like we've got some Praetorian Cav Auxilia on the left and right. So that might be something we can work on, seeing as we do have the upgrades. I think that's his general unit there, which would be a good thing to take out, if possible, if we can get to it. Hopefully we won't break down his cavalry and leave the flanks open. He's also got, I believe that's actually his general there, and he's got another general unit there. I wasn't sure if he already had a general, so I think I added an extra one. And these guys are just go to march. I don't think they're going to respond. These guys are actually responding to my cavalry, so we might be able to get at them. He's moving some auxiliary up to try and defend himself, and he's got the okay, he's got auxiliary light infantry coming on. It's not going to be quite enough. I'll be able to move my guys in quite fast. At my front, the archers are doing a good job at taking out his infantry. I'm going to bring my guys back, otherwise they're going to be pretty useful here, useless even. And now he's got some cavalry coming around the side. I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen there, so I'm going to bring my cohort up. Probably rearrange my archers so I can defend them easier. He's got a bunch of archer auxiliary there, can be picked off. Let's split these guys up. So basically his army is now just one disorganized mess. He is not going to be doing well at this for a while. What was that? Praetorian cohorts coming in. Let's get these guys moving up there. I think I might, as he's only got stuff here, I might actually move up on this flank. I'm going to wait till he engages there. Oh god, that was a bad idea. Not moving fast enough. Move these guys out of the way. Might actually be a good idea to move these guys out whilst the cohort engages. I've lost one archer squad. I'm going to need to move these guys up. His general is now fleeing, and my guys have actually stopped fleeing, so I'm going to try and bring them back into the fight. I'm doing alright protecting my... oh god. Saying that, I'm not doing a good job of protecting my archers. It's the annoying thing with this battle, things can get pretty intense, so you've got to remember where your stuff is. Otherwise you're not going to stand a good chance. I'm actually going to, hopefully if we can get these guys down. It's actually a spearman squad there, so these guys need to pull out. I'm going to need to pull these guys back and hopefully reform my lines. Okay. See if we can break down some of his infantry. I'm not entirely sure if I've got any units that aren't good. Okay. Some of these guys have stopped routing. We can hopefully use our cav to our advantage here. Seeing it's probably the best asset we have right now. Let's get these guys moving up. Going to need some assistance there, I feel. Probably chase some of these guys off with our cavalry. I'm going to try and break my cavalry for the charge from the missile auxiliary here. But hopefully it won't be enough, seeing as we've got all our guys here. See if we can break up some of the archers. And now we'll just surround the rest of their army. Fortunately, because they have so much missiles, I'm actually getting quite trashed with literally the sheer amount of missiles I have. Hopefully they're going to be running out soon, so I can need to bring those guys up. Get those guys firing on the remnants of their missiles. Now I've essentially just grouped my army. I've got 2 cavalry units that are doing a good job of hunting down the rest of these missiles. Pretty much the entire army is routing. They've still got 1 or 2 missile units that we need to take out. I'm not entirely sure if I want to hunt down those stragglers. I'm not entirely sure if it's worth it at the moment. They might reform. It's a very some light infantry. I can deal with them. Better just scale them away in case they go for my archers. But we've mainly got this in the bag. As you can see, they've reformed 2 of their guys there. I'm not going to take any chances. I'm just going to reform my infantry and cavalry, along with what's left of my archers. And we're just going to take the rest of his general unit out here. That was a bad idea. If we can just bring these guys in the back, and they should just be finished. I'm not entirely sure if I should bring these guys into test 2. How much arrows do I have? Quite a significant amount. Let's see if we can get them to waste some arrows. I think he's gonna pretty much come into charge range because they're trying to go for my archers. So we're going to make them realize how bad of an idea that is. Hopefully these guys will actually run back into my cavalry. Fortunately, my cavalry is probably quite tired, so they're going to be pretty slow at engaging these units. It's mainly just hunting down the rest, which is going to be quite a pain. Those guys are fleeing, so I'm not going to worry too much about them. He does, however, have an extra unit up there. Okay. So the battle's pretty much done. As you can see, I feel like the majority of these engagements we did very, very well on. As you can see, there's a lot of red. This one, not so much. But as you can see, the idea is to kind of keep your cavalry harassing their weaker units, whilst you, yeah, try and keep your army in one piece. No, Okay. So as you can see, we actually only lost half our men, which is essentially very good. Slightly over half actually, probably about 2/3, which against a very hard AI, who wasn't that bad in this battle, turned out to be very good. So as you can see, casualties sustained, fairly the same amongst the board. Our cavalry, one of our cavalry units took out 194 guys, which is insanely good. Urban cohorts did quite a bit, and my archers, it seems like they don't take out much, but for their money's worth, they're worth significantly less than other units. So they did actually fairly well for how much I paid for them.